Beginners in fitness desire to lift heavy weights, but the exercise that they tend to shun the most is the barbell squat. Because my back hurts and I'm frightened I won't be able to get up, and I think it's shameful to exercise with only one disc, I'm avoiding even the most basic exercises. The barbell squat, however, is the lower body exercise that novices really must do. You don't need to perform any additional exercises. So today I'm going to show you how to stand correctly for barbell squats and give you advice on how to swiftly gain weight. Having a firm grip on the bar is one of the best 5 barbell squat positions and weight gain advice. The position of the bar is crucial for doing a solid barbell squat. A high bar that attaches to the upper trapezius muscle and a low bar that attaches to the scapula and lower trapezius muscle are essentially what are meant by the terms shoulder attachment method and shoulder attachment device. Most of the time, you assume that keeping to the row bar will allow you to control heavier weights, but this isn't always the case. Powerlifters frequently utilize low bars, while weightlifters frequently use high bars to lift large objects. In order to hold the bar comfortably without dividing the high bar from the low bar, beginners must practice this. In some instances, the bar is put on the trapezius, which hurts the muscle, and the exercise is done while utilizing a cushion. Avoid using cushions if your goal is to perform a high weight squat. There are many tutorials about shoulder attachment, but the trick is to look at the bar directly and locate the point where it is completely fastened. Second, hip drive and hinge. The barbell squat is a multi-joint workout that enables you to handle high weights by complexly using a number of joints. The hip hinge method is the one that will help you manage the weight safely in this situation. Hip hinge refers to a position in which the body is folded while drawing the hip back and is a compound word made up of the words hip and hinge, which both mean hinge. I believe you've heard of the hip hinge if you've attended a fitness class or received personal training. To state that the hip hinge is the ideal posture for protecting my waist as a technique important not only for exercise but also for daily life is not an exaggeration. That's all there is to it for today's topic, but hip hinge varies slightly between deadlift and squat motions. It will naturally generate a hip hinge if you sit down with the illusion that you are squeezing your stomach between your legs. To clarify, imagine placing your tummy between your pelvis and thighs. Put your tummy between your pelvis when you sit down, and push your hips firmly back into the ready position when you stand up. Limit how much your back arches. The crucial component of the hip hinge position is that your stomach must be on it while your core is firmly engaged. Additionally, a technique known as hip drive is needed for the movement that results. To put it simply, it implies strengthening the hip joint while forcing the folded hip joint forward to return to its initial state. Between just sitting and getting up, and between sitting and getting up with the intention of pulling your hips forward, there is a significant difference in posture and stimulation. Right now, stand up and perform one squat. Keep in mind how it feels to drive your hips forward. This technique is essential for both squats and deadlifts, so let's thoroughly comprehend it. The other crucial aspect is that the back should not flex and the core should never collapse. Squat depth and foot width, number 3. First, there are deep squats, which cause the squat to collapse. Second, there are half squats, in which the hip joint only descends to the level of the knee. And third, there are quarter squats, in which the hip joint only marginally descends. There is much debate regarding deep squats versus half squats, but I personally prefer deep squats, or complete squats, which use the greatest range of motion. The quarter squat will be introduced in the following video. A full squat engages the entire lower body, whereas a half squat concentrates on the quadriceps muscles, which are found in the front thighs. The size of the feet is the second factor. Since everyone's proportions and pelvic flexibility vary, it is impossible to pinpoint a specific foot length. Nevertheless, the approximate foot width that suits you can be found. Finding a foot width that enables you to maintain a comfortable stance when sitting down for more than a minute without letting your butt contact the ground is easier than you would imagine. If you open your chest wide in this situation, your back will automatically straighten instead of giving you the sensation of standing up. In many instances, the knee pain goes away or the hip joint gets pinched when you squat like this. Hold on, this information is crucial. Butt wink that occurs while sitting still. The term butt wink describes a condition in which, during a squatting action, the lower section of the spine, or the lumbar spine, rolls through a certain spot. It always comes after information about squats since the butt wink phenomenon shows a reduction in range of motion when flexibility is missing and there is a chance that the waist will acquire weight as the waist curls and then straightens again. To begin with the conclusion, it's important to note that not every butt wink results in back pain. Weightlifters also do the butt wink motion, which frequently causes the core to collapse, but you can see how easily they handle huge weights by watching them. Number 4. Breathing exercises for lifting large objects. You should be familiar with the general breathing technique of inhaling during relaxation and exhaling during contraction. Valsalva breathing, on the other hand, is employed as a breathing technique that can produce explosive power in high weight activities. Before diving down, put the bar on and take a big breath. Drink it with the impression that it fills the entire body, including the sides and waist, as if you were blowing air into a tube called the core. As you descend, hold your breath, and as you ascend, let it out. Be sure to hold your core tightly when you go down, and at the time where relaxation changes to contraction, or when you go down and try to stand up after taking a photo of your hips, let the air out a little. If you observe athletes using heavy lifting, shout "Sue." It sounds that way because of that. I've heard that when you descend, pressure is put on your hips and stomach, and some air is expelled, but I'm not sure if this is supported by science. It is a technique for using great force right now, such as breathing when a boxer punches or generating a sound of spirit while striking with a simple control action. I hope you will learn the Valsalva breathing technique and put it into practice until you begin to feel it naturally in your body, even when there is no weight. Additionally, if you wear a lifting belt, you can strengthen your core. However, because the lifting belt does not cover the waist, you must perform the Valsalva breathing technique to pressurize your core. 5. How to arrange sets and repetitions. I always advise novices to start with 3 to 5 sets and reps per set. Naturally, I'm referring to this set and not the warm-up. It is advised to choose a weight that permits 12 to 15 repetitions for sets 1 and 2, 10 to 12 repetitions for sets 3 and 4, and 8 to 10 repetitions for ages 5 and 6. By managing the weight, this approach is one way to maximize posture and stimulation. Additionally, it is an appropriate quantity for promoting muscular hypertrophy. Additionally, the GVT 10x10 or 5x5 workout programs can be used, as well as the gradual overload principle method of increasing weight for each set. The GVT 10x10 program was the most effective, and I just set the weight to be able to do 8 to 10 reps and completed 5 to 7 sets of it. Since I was just beginning in terms of fitness, I gradually raised the number of sets by performing 3 to 5 sets of 8 to 10 reps for the barbell squat. In conclusion, choose a weight that you can lift for 8 to 10 reps while maintaining proper form, and perform 3 to 5 sets. Additionally, when gradually increasing the workout tempo, take care not to disrupt the core, concentrate on posture and stimulation, and give it your all for each repetition. No matter what kind of exercise you do, whether it is with a low weight or a high weight, the quality of your exercise will change in the future even if you perform the same set a number of times. This is true even if you understand that your body can change due to variations in concentration and exercise. Listed below are some tips for barbell squats. Since it was discovered by directly hitting the body, it seems that there is a limit to how much I can express it in words, but I do hope that it may be helpful in some way. Although the advice provided today is valuable, I want to emphasize for beginners the need for consistency, focus, and nutrition. Muscle soreness will make it difficult at first, but I believe that consistency, concentration, and nutrition are more crucial for novices than rest. Reasoning outside of routine and believing that muscles need to rest for 48 to 72 hours in order to grow are strictly forbidden. Since it is difficult for novices to focus on one thing and handle a lot of pressure, it is wise to exercise caution. I'm hoping that many newbies will put in a lot of effort today in order to quickly gain muscle, and I'll finish it. I appreciate you continuing to view the video.